So let's talk about villains. In fiction, I love a good villain. Part of my shelf is dedicated to villains, excluding Scarlet Witch. Fuck her. I'm joking, I love her. She's my favourite in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. Including Black Widow, of course. When I was younger, I always wondered why villains never won. The most prominent memory is when I was watching Teen Titans and there was a few episodes where the villains actually did win. They got taken down. But goddammit, Slade did a lot of work to get there. He was a lot smarter than those teens were. So I never understood why the villain never got to win. And obviously, from a storytelling standpoint, it isn't very satisfying. I've written a lot of things where I wanted the villain to win, but I just can't do it. Because there's a hero that's supposed to win. And I appreciate that, but can there be one film where they win? If you know one, please tell me, because it will probably become my favourite film. I think the reason I like villains so much is because they are so motivated, and I am motivated to make changes. In a different way, obviously, but I can see where they're coming from. They have traits that I want, like ambition and strength. Are they all that bad? I think this whole video is going to show why I'm a Slytherin. Because I do see them as villains, but I want to embody those traits in a positive way. You can look to them and take parts of them and be like that. So after all my philosophical nonsense, let's talk about some of my favourites. Now, Disney has my all-time favourite villain, which is the Magnificent Maleficent. I didn't realise that joke when I first wrote it down, but I'm sticking with it. She's a high-glamour, all-powerful, driven woman. And if you don't agree with her being the best villain, I have one thing for you. She can turn into a dragon. And if that doesn't make her cool and automatically the best, then I don't know what will. A lot of my favourite villains actually come from Disney films, and I know why. I love a good villain song. Except for the Evil Queen and Maleficent, all of my favourite Disney villains have amazing villain songs. Dr. Facilier, top notch. Gaston, but not for the song Gaston. That isn't it. The Mob song. If you don't remember the Mob song, go listen to it. It's absolutely fantastic. Ursula, unforgettable. Jafar's reprise of Prince Ali is damn good too. How could I forget about Mother Gothel as well? Song, so great! Now let's start talking outside the Disney zone. Their villains are good, but there are some great ones outside the franchise. Voldemort is obviously a classic. I think what's good about Voldemort as well is that it's understandable. He's being trodden on and he can't love because of the way he's been conceived. He's just as ambitious as any other villain, and I respect that. For my favourite games, not only Ganondorf, but Cia as well. Ganondorf is this all-powerful being, and I commend him for that. He does it well. But in Hyrule Warriors, you're fighting Cia a lot of the time. And although her motivation is basic, she does carry it out in the most badass way. On the fandom side, I do love Moriarty. He's so charismatic in a psychotic way. The thing that all of my favourite villains share is the fight to be at the top, which is something I can relate to. It's why I like them so much. I'm not as big a fan of dystopian governments like President Snow. He's cool and all, but he's already at the top of his game. He's controlling everything like pawns. I didn't get to see his fight to the top and his win. If I had, I might like him more, but I didn't. Villains are cool. Maybe not always correct, but they stand for something they believe in, which some protagonists are afraid of to do until the end of their story. If they call me a villain for standing up for something I believe is right, I do not care. I might be wrong, and I will change for that. But at least I stood up for something. And villains did that too. Give them a bit more credit next time. Some of their traits aren't so bad. And if you don't agree with me, I think there is one thing that we can all agree on. Umbridge is one villain no one can like. Bye.